Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. So folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the Washington Commanders are quietly positioning themselves for something potentially game-changing, especially in the backfield. Now I know what you're thinking. Week 6 is just getting started, but the buzz around DC is about more than just the record. It's about the strategic moves, the talent evaluation, and the possibilities that could reshape how the team approaches the rest of the season. And right now, the focus is on the running back position, which has become a real point of interest after an incredible performance in Week 5 by rookie Jackery Crosky-Merritt, affectionately known as Bill. Yes, Crosky-Merritt has been making waves. This young guy has been quietly climbing the ranks, but his Week 5 outing was nothing short of spectacular. He turned 16 touches into 150 yards of total offense, including 111 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty impressive feat for a rookie, especially considering how quickly he's emerged into a significant contributor for Washington. And let's be honest, seeing a player like Crosky-Merritt step up like that, it's exciting for fans. It's a sign that the team might have found a hidden gem in the backfield, someone who can carry the load and maybe even become the centerpiece of the running game moving forward. And here's the key point, the Commanders are not just counting on Crosky-Merritt to carry the entire burden. No, they're aware of the need to add more depth, more explosiveness, and experience to that position, especially given the injuries and the NFL's relentless grind. You see, currently Washington has Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols backing up Crosky-Merritt. And while both are capable players, neither of them brings the same level of explosiveness or proven production that a true star can offer. The injury to Austin Ekeler, who was a significant signing for the team, was a blow. Ekeler's season-ending torn Achilles was a tough pill to swallow, and it's clear that the Commanders need to find a way to fill that void, both to protect Crosky-Merritt from overexertion and to add a different dimension to the offense. And that's where rumors and predictions are swirling around the possibility of a trade that could shake up the division. Now, one name that's been floated around a lot in NFL circles, and especially among Washington fans, is Breece Hall of the New York Jets. I mean, let's think about it for a second. The Jets are struggling mightily, 0-5 at this point, folks, and it's hard to see them turning things around anytime soon. They're in full rebuild mode, and with the trade deadline approaching, it's almost inevitable that they'll be looking to move some of their assets, especially players in the final year of their contracts. Breece Hall fits that bill perfectly. The Jets drafted him in the second round, and he's been a bright spot in an otherwise disappointing season. Despite the team's struggles, Hall has been producing at a high level, tallying up 351 rushing yards so far and adding 150 yards through the air. Those numbers put him on pace for nearly 200 yards rushing and over 500 yards receiving, which is exactly the kind of dynamic playmaker Washington needs. Imagine, just for a moment, what adding a player like Hall could do for the Commanders. It's not just about the raw stats, although those are impressive. It's about the impact he could have on the offense as a whole. With Crosky-Merritt showing flashes of brilliance, having a top-tier backfield duo, think of it as a two-headed monster that can keep defenses guessing and wear them down over 4 quarters. That's the kind of threat that can elevate the team's offense to a whole new level. And let's not forget, Hall would also bring a reliable receiving option out of the backfield, which Washington has been somewhat hesitant to fully utilize with Crosky-Merritt so far. The idea of pairing Hall with Crosky-Merritt isn't just a pipe dream either. Experts like Josh Weil from Pro Football and Sports Network have predicted that the Jets might be willing to part ways with Hall for a modest price, just a 4th-round pick, which is a relatively low cost considering his talent and production. The Jets, after all, are 0-5, and with the season looking bleak, selling off some assets makes strategic sense. It allows them to gather draft capital and focus on rebuilding for the future. For Washington, acquiring Hall would be a move that signals their intent to contend and push for a deep playoff run. Now, I want to highlight for a moment just how important this potential trade could be. Breece Hall isn't just any running back. He's an explosive, versatile player who has already shown he can handle a heavy workload and produce consistently. His addition would give the Commanders a new dimension in their offense, making them less predictable and more dangerous. It would also help to take some pressure off Jaden Daniels, the quarterback, giving him a more balanced offensive attack to work with. With Hall's ability to break off big runs and contribute as a receiver, defenses would have to game plan much more carefully. Of course, nothing is set in stone, and there are questions about whether the Commanders will go all in on this move. The fourth-round pick might seem like a bargain, but the team's front office will have to weigh the long-term implications, the chemistry, and how Hall fits into the team's overall strategy. But if they pull the trigger, it could be one of those moves that shifts the entire division's power balance. The NFC East has been a tightly contested division for years, with the Eagles reigning supreme, but a move like this could make the Commanders more than just contenders. They could be outright threats. And let's not forget the impact on the locker room and team morale. Acquiring a player like Hall would send a message that Washington is serious about winning now. It shows they're willing to make bold moves, invest in talent, and push to maximize their window of opportunity. The fan base is already eager to see this team take the next step, and a trade like this could be that spark that ignites a new chapter of success. Now I want to pause here for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Because honestly, folks, this kind of move isn't just about one player or one game. It's about positioning the team for sustained success, about making a statement in the NFC East that the Commanders are back in the conversation for Super Bowl contention. It's about building a roster that can withstand injuries, adapt to different game situations, and keep pushing forward. When you look at the broader picture, the Commanders have been trending in the right direction. The defense has been playing tough, and with young stars emerging on that side of the ball, they're building something promising. On offense, Jaden Daniels has been showing flashes of brilliance, but he still needs more weapons and stability. That's why a move like acquiring Hall could be a game changer. It's about creating a balanced attack that keeps defenses honest and opens up more opportunities downfield. The potential pairing of Krosky-Merritt and Hall could become the backbone of this team's offense for years to come. Furthermore, it's worth mentioning that the team's front office has shown they're not afraid to make bold moves when the opportunity arises. They've been prudent with their draft picks, but they also recognize when a risk could pay off big time. NFL is a league of adjustments and bold decisions, and this season might be the moment where Washington tries to make a statement by adding a proven playmaker like Breece Hall. The fans are craving excitement, and this kind of trade could generate a lot of buzz, not just in Washington but across the entire league. Imagine the headlines, the highlight reels, and the renewed hope that this team can contend with the best. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize again how crucial this period is for the Commanders. The trade deadline is approaching, and every team is looking to improve their roster. For Washington, the opportunity to add a player of Hall's caliber at a relatively low cost could be exactly what they need to push over the edge. It's about building a team that's not just competitive but a true playoff contender. The NFC East is still up for grabs, and with the right moves, the Commanders could be leading the pack sooner than we think. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think acquiring Breece Hall is the right decision? Would you be willing to part with a fourth-round pick for such a talented player? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and inside news. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep supporting the Commanders. This season is far from over, and exciting times could be just around the corner. Thanks for being with us, and remember, you're part of this family. Let's keep the faith alive and see where this journey takes us.